Good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
Now, this is economic class taken by One Business One, and the instructor is Mr. Isaac Kineboa. So we're going to continue from where we got to yesterday, and we want to look at wholesaler. Okay, so the wholesaler is the middleman who buys the goods in large quantities from the manufacturer and sells to the retailer in smaller quantities. That's the wholesaler. Yeah, isn't that the definition?
The wholesaler also serves as a link between the manufacturer and the consumer.
Now, he also taken from that angle that a wholesaler serves as a link between the manufacturer and the retailer. Okay, a link between the manufacturer and the retailer. Okay. Now let's look at the functions wholesalers perform in this country. We want just to limit ourselves to Ghana. So in this country, what function the wholesalers perform? Yes.
They break bulk purchases.
What say he breaks or they break bulk purchases? What does it mean?
It means they buy goods in large quantities and then break them into smaller quantities.
Exactly. Wholesalers buy the goods from the manufacturers in large quantities, and then they will sell to the retailers in smaller quantities. An example is a wholesaler who buys rice in large quantities from sacks, from the rice company. Then he will break them into rubbers as Oloka, are you okay? Yes. And then he will sell to the retailers. This is a typical example. Yes, another function.
Wholesalers pre-finance production.
What does it mean by say pre-financing?
Sometimes the manufacturer might not have the needed capital to produce goods. Therefore, the wholesaler will give him that money needed to produce the goods. So the producer will produce it and then now give it to the wholesaler.
Yes, many a time we realize that the manufacturer will not have the money to produce, but because people have made order from the markets and the information has reached the wholesaler, he wants the manufacturer to produce the goods so that he will sell to the retailer and the retailer will sell to the consumers at the market. So the wholesaler will give the money to the manufacturer before the goods will be produced. So after the production, he will go and then take the goods and then sell to the retailer and then to the final consumers. Are you okay?
Yes.
When the wholesaler does this, we are saying that the wholesaler has pre-financed the production. Yes.
So the wholesaler provides storage facilities for the manufacturer.
What does it mean?
So sometimes the manufacturer do not have the facilities where they can store the manufacturing. So the wholesaler goes for the goods in large quantities to go and sell them to help further production.
So what he's trying to say is that if a particular manufacturer doesn't have any storage facility where the goods be stored, then the wholesaler will save him, because just after the production, he will go to the factory, buy the goods in large quantity, convey them to his warehouse, store them before he will sell to the retailer. In that case, the wholesaler has saved the manufacturer. Are you okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Provides transport facilities.
Yes.
This instance, the wholesaler finds ways and means of transporting the goods bought from the producer.
Okay. So here, what it tells me is that if the goods are produced in large quantities at the factory, the wholesaler will be going there to buy them and convey them to the warehouse, which means that you will save the manufacturer, because had it not, the wholesaler who will be going to the factory to buy the goods, it means the manufacturer would have found it all, mean of all, transport, to convey the goods to the market. So going there to buy from the factory means that you are saving the manufacturer the transport costs. Any other? Yes.
The wholesaler provides information from the customer to the from
What
the consumer.
kind of information? Yeah. Go
He
on.
transfers information from the consumer to the producer on the type of product the consumers may want.
Sometimes consumers express interest in certain type of commodities at the market. We want this. The taste should be this. The packaging should be this. The branding should be this. Then they will specify all. The information will be given to the retailer. Retailer will convey the message to the wholesaler, and the wholesaler will transfer the information to the manufacturer, so that the manufacturer can produce exactly what consumers want. just as a production, when the goods are conveyed to the market, they will buy all. Are you with me?
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
That information, yes. Yes, explain. Okay. Okay. Sometimes not even doing actual adverts, by displaying the goods in front of the stores where people are passing by, they will see it. It's an advert. So if you look at advertising, it's not only what we done. We normally do it on the radio and then the telly or in the newspapers. Sometimes we can do advert by displaying the goods in front of the store and on the shelves, so that when people are passing by or they enter the store, they will see it. Now, when you display the goods, okay, in front of the stores or on the shelves, it is like you are inviting people to come and make an offer. If you read law of contract, it will tell you that display of goods in front of stores means you are inviting the general public to come and make an offer, so that they will buy the product. So invitation to treat means you are inviting people to come and buy. So you are doing an advert. You are advertising the product. Okay. Any other function? Last one. I'll take the last one.
Wholesaler helps in price stability.
What does it mean?
It means when the wholesaler provides storage facilities for the goods, it helps to stabilize the price in the market by providing it when it is short in the market and releasing it to get back into the market, therefore stabilizing the price.
Okay, he's trying to say that wholesalers try and stabilize the prices of the products. We all know that goods that their prices are fixed by the interaction of demand and supply. Normally, when they are in short supply, price will increase because of the shortage. But when they are released to the market in large quantity, their prices will come down because there will be surplus. So the wholesaler can manage the supply. Looking at the market, the wholesaler will not supply more to the retailer. Now, during the bumper harvest, where the goods are harvested in large quantities, the wholesaler will supply, some sizable quantity to the retailer. They will supply to the market. During the lean season, okay, what the wholesaler stored at the warehouse will be sold to the retailer. The retailer will sell to the final consumer. So at any point in time, all year round, the goods will be at the market. There wouldn't be any shortage. There wouldn't be any surplus. So we can maintain the price. The price will be stable at the market. So these are some of the functions performed by wholesalers. Now let's move on and then talk about retail trade. Retail trade. Retail trade. What is retail trade? Yes.
Retail trade is a kind of trade that is concerned by buying goods from smaller quantities from the wholesaler and selling it in bits to the consumers.
Yeah, a retail trade is a kind of trade where goods are purchased in smaller quantities from the wholesaler and they are sold to the consumers in smaller bits. That is retail trade. Therefore, who is a wholesaler? Who is a retailer? Who is a retailer? Yes?
A retailer is a person who buys goods in smaller quantities from the wholesaler and sells it to the consumer.
Yeah, he's the one who buys the goods in smaller quantities from the wholesaler and then he will sell to the final consumer in smaller bits. Okay? For example, we go to our communities where we stay. That time I'll give you an example. You go there, you see petty traders. They normally arrange the goods on tables. Some are even positioning themselves behind our houses. Okay, they are in the community. They sell granules, they sell sugar, they sell gari, petty things that even students can buy. Those who are not working can buy. With your 1 Ghana, your 1 cedi 50 pesos, your 2 cedis, you can buy some. Are you okay? Yes. They break them into smaller bits, and then they sell to the consumers. So those whose income level are low, they can afford to buy the commodities. Okay, yeah. So these are the retailers. Now we want to know the functions the retailers are performing. Functions performed by the retailers. Yes.
Provides variety of goods.
When you say variety of goods, what does it mean? Variety of goods.
The retailer buy goods from different wholesalers. So he provides a wide choice of goods to the customer.
Yeah, different kinds of goods. Even though the business itself is not on large scale, it is a smaller scale, okay, business or small scale business. But if you go there, the types of goods the retailer will sell, granules, dates, sugar, we call them normal provisions. Are you okay? You can get all kinds to buy there. So not just one commodity. Sometimes product mix, not product line, but product mix, different kinds, and then the consumers will buy. Which means that the consumers can get different type of goods to buy from the retailer to enhance their living standards. Are you okay?
Yes.
Because they can get different kinds to buy, and then their living standard will be enhanced. Next other function.
They also break bulk purchases.
They break bulk
Purchase.
What does it mean?
So it means that they buy the goods in smaller quantities from the wholesaler and sells it to them.
Yes, so in fact the retailers are helping consumers a lot. Buying the goods in smaller quantities from the wholesaler, breaking them into smaller bits to be sold to final consumers mean that you are helping lower income earners. Those who cannot afford to buy the goods in rubbers, to buy the goods in large quantities, they can afford 1 cup, they can afford half a cup, they can afford smaller bits, and then they will buy. So students who are even not working can even get one banana, 1 digital pesos, 2 CDs, and then buy those things after school. I know some of you have been doing that. The students, you go there and then in the afternoon when you close from school and then you go home, there is no food there and you want to do something small. You go there and buy the gari, sugar, and then you mix them with the groundnut and those things, and then you eat. It's because the retailers are there. You don't travel, far distance. They are behind your house. They are in the community. You can buy it and then enjoy yourself there. That will even go a long way to maximize your satisfaction. Okay. Next one. Yes. Yeah.
They assist in the preparation of goods.
They assist in the preparation of goods. What does it mean? Assisting
The retailers, they help in packaging the goods, and also they add value to the goods so that it entice the consumers to buy.
Entice the consumers to buy. Preparation of the goods. Sometimes there's going to be a program in a particular place. Many people will be coming there. Let's say inter schools. About 20 schools are coming to Accra for the program. It will take 2 days. And look at how students will buy goods, because people, different schools are coming, and they are coming in their large numbers. When they come, they'll be buying goods. But the retailer will go and tell the wholesaler that because of the program, I know students will buy in large quantity. We want the goods in large quantity, so provide more. Okay. Meanwhile, the wholesaler doesn't have people to support him or her to prepare the goods. So the retailer will take it upon him or herself to go and help them in the preparation of the goods, so that it will facilitate the production process. They can finish early and then they will bring to the consumers, the students, that day. Otherwise, they will not be able to finish. Okay. So sometimes, if the wholesaler is delaying, retailer will go and help him in the preparation. And also added that they sometimes add value to the product so that it will entice. Sometimes not even value. The packaging, the outward looking of the product, okay, it should be attractive, it should be catchy, something that will attract consumers, entice them to even do what is known as impulse buying. The product displayed at the market must be catchy, so that if somebody is going to buy a different product and he sees what you have displayed at the market, the person will stop what he's going to buy and come and buy from you. People will do impulse buying. That's how the retailer will help to package the product so portable, so attractive, so catchy, and then it will entice the people to buy the products. Yes, any other? Yeah, the back there.
It has information from consumers to manufacturers.
How?
And they pass information to the manufacturer through the wholesalers about the consumers' complaints and taste of goods.
Yes, sometimes, as I said, consumers express interest in a certain type of goods, sometimes in a particular season. Okay, some commodities are seasonal, and consumers will express interest in buying those goods during their season. For example, during Xmas, consumers express interest in buying more rice, chicken, balloons, biscuits, and the thing that we normally buy during Xmas. So if what the consumers are saying they want in December, okay, in December, then the information will be given to the retailer, and then he will transfer the information to the wholesaler, and the information will be passed on to the final consumer, the manufacturer, so that he will produce exactly what the consumers want. After that, the goods will be brought to the wholesaler. He will go and buy them, and then he will sell to the retailer, to the final consumers. Sometimes, consumers also want to know the kind of goods the manufacturer has produced at the factory. They want to know. The only way they can get the information is to ask the retailer. Retailer will go and ask what? The wholesaler. Wholesaler will go and ask what? The manufacturer. The information will be brought back, okay, from the manufacturer to the wholesaler, to the retailer, to the final consumer. Another explanation is that sometimes the manufacturer wants to know the perception of the product he has produced. Okay, perception of consumers. When they use the goods, what is the perception? I mean, what motive they have formed about the product, so that if there's any shoddy, work in terms of producing the product, he will just improve the quality. Okay, so if you want to know the information, the perception of the consumers, he will ask the wholesaler. Wholesaler will come and ask the retailer. Retailer will go to the market and ask all the consumers. They will tell the retailer exactly their perception about the product. If there should be, there should be more room for improvement, then they will tell the retailer. He will go and tell the wholesaler. Wholesaler will go and tell the manufacturer, so that the manufacturer will try and improve the quality of the product. It's an information. So this information is very, very important. As a manufacturer, if you don't get this information, you will fail in your business, because you think you have produced the best quality for the consumers, but they will not buy, because you didn't get their perception, what they want. That is why this time we have moved from the sales management to marketing management. Why? Because previously, producers will produce without taking into consideration the needs and wants of consumers before the goods be produced. They think that they can produce the goods and then use wrong adverts to convince the consumers to buy the product. So sometimes when they are producing, they will never think about the consumers. They will produce and use advertising, sometimes the wrong one, to convince them to buy the product. Okay, so this time, because of competition out there, more firms are producing and they are competing. They want to get more customers. If you do that, you lose all your customers to your competitors, your rival firms. So this time, we see consumers as kings and queens. We need to take them into consideration before we produce the goods. So before the producer will come out of the production, he needs information for the market, the type of goods consumers want, the packaging, the branding, the taste, the quality level, the color. Because if you have some colors, about 90% of the population don't like. Are you okay? Some colors, if you use them for your product, everybody will run away, because a particular color people don't like it. So use a color that will be attractive, that will be catchy, that will entice the consumers to buy the product. Are you attending it? So you need information from them. So you have gradually moved from sales management to marketing management. Marketing means that you need to know what the consumers want before you produce. So you need to do market survey at the market. Try to solicit their opinion, their views, before you produce the product. So you incorporate the views of the consumers into the production process before the goods are produced, so that you can produce exactly what they want and then they will buy. Are you attending it?
Yes, sir.
The next one, yes.
Retailers provide credit to creditworthy and trusted people.
Yeah, how do you explain this point?
Because the retailers know their customers individually and by face.
Yeah.
They know those who are creditworthy and trustworthy. So
yeah.
In times of need, they are able to provide credit to them.
Exactly. I have already told you that the retailers are located in our community, behind our house. We know them. In fact, the retailer knows almost all the customers because they are in the community. Those who are creditworthy, he knows them or she knows them. If you are not creditworthy and you buy the goods on credit, don't pay, you go to him again, he'll never give it to you. Okay? So normally the retailer is prepared to give the goods to those who are creditworthy on credit. If they don't have money at that particular time and they want to buy, he will give it to them and they will defer the payment to the future. But I'm saying that the creditworthy is not extended to all customers. It is extended to only those who are held credit worthy. Yeah. Next function. I mean, I'll take the last one and then, yeah.
They open and locate business places that are convenient to the customers.
It's good. It's a nice point. The place is very convenient. People will not travel from outskirts Accra to go to Accra to buy petty things. That is why the retailers are there. So if you want to buy just a common sugar, 1 cup of sugar, then you bought car from where you stay to Accra before you can buy. No. Retailers have opened their structures and their stores just closer to our houses. You walk, I'm a short distance, you are there. That time I was telling you that if you want to just prepare some small fufu on Sundays, or in Accra here, you normally prepare fufu on Sundays because everybody is busy. Okay? Now, you don't have to go to Abushi before you buy foodstuffs. Some have mounted small structures behind our houses. They are selling all kinds of foods. Are you okay? When you go there, you can get cassava, you can get fish, you can get all the things that you need them for the preparation of the food. So within shortest possible time, one can prepare food, the food, and then we just eat, take it. So they have established their stores, their structures closer to where we stay. It's so convenient. You don't have to dress even before you go there. I mean, put on something something that you'll be taken to Accra before you go there. Just get something that to wear and then go there, go and buy, come and prepare whatever you want to prepare. And they are there. So they are living closer to us. It's so convenient to the consumers. Are you okay? Yes. So these are some of the functions performed by the retailers. Now, despite all the functions the retailers are performing and the role they are playing in the distribution chain, some manufacturers bypass the wholesalers and retailers and then sell directly to the final consumer. Are you getting the picture? In fact, from our discussion now, it is realized that the middlemen, I'm talking about the wholesalers and retailers, are playing major roles in our distribution chain. But we want to know the reasons why some manufacturers have decided not to sell the goods to the middlemen before they will sell to the final consumer, but they will bypass them and then supply the goods directly to the final consumer. Do you have any justification for that? Yes? One.
Perishable goods get rotten or spoiled quickly.
How do you justify this or explain this?
Due to the existence of middlemen. Mostly, when it gets to the wholesaler, he stores the goods. And goods that are supposed to get to the consumers may get rotten because they are perishable. Okay.
Now, what he's trying to say is that, let me explain, comment on this before you continue. Some goods are very perishable, especially vegetables, foodstuffs. Some of them are very perishable. And after their production, they ought to be sent to the market early so that the consumers can get them consumed. Now, if the middlemen are there, it means the wholesaler will go to the farm and buy from the farmer, who is the manufacturer. He will come and store at a warehouse for some time. Then you will sell in smaller quantities to the retailer. Are you okay? The retailer also store for some time before he will sell to the final consumer. By the time the goods will get to the consumer, about 80% will get rotting. So people buy goods that have expired. Okay, they will rot. And so those of us who are in Accra, I don't think you will find it difficult to understand this. You will buy foodstuffs and realize, or vegetables, or fruits, and realize that the thing has as well, let's say, put it this way, expired, or it will rot. Okay, because it is coming far away from the village. Some of the market women from here, they go to the village and buy. When they buy, they have a small room. They put the foodstuff there. Then they will sell in smaller quantities to the retailers. Are you okay? The retailers are the market women at the market. They will buy and sell in smaller bits to consumers. So it will delay on the road before it will get to the market. So when you get there, if you go there, you don't examine the foodstuff well before you buy. You buy and send the foodstuff to the house if you want to use it to prepare some food and then you eat. Now, you realize that the foodstuff will get rotten. Are you okay? And you regret for buying the foodstuff because you have paid money. You did not get the value. Are you okay? Yeah. So that is one of the reasons why some manufacturers will sell directly to the final consumer. Yeah.
But sometimes too, before it will get to the consumer, the retailer and the wholesalers, they've added profit to it. So when it gets to the consumer, they find it difficult to buy it.
Yeah.
The price is too expensive.
The aim of every producer or businessman or businesswoman is to make what? That is the primary motive, the primary objective for going into business. Okay? Now, all these retailers and the wholesalers, they are in the distribution chain because they need their profit. Those market women, you see them going to the village to buy the plantain, yam, cassava, cocoa yam in large quantity. They need their profit. When they come, they will add their profit to it and sell to the retailer. Retailer will also add the profit before it will get to the final consumer. So the goods produced by the farmer, before it will get to the final consumer, the price will be escalating. Are you okay? So it means that it's very high. And the consumers will buy the product at expensive prices. And sometimes the consumers will be insulting the manufacturer. That company producing the product, the price is too expensive. It is not the doing of the manufacturer. Now the manufacturer sold to the wholesaler in, moderate price. But because they have added their profit, before it will get to the final consumer, the price will be very, very high. To avoid all these insults, manufacturers, some of them will decide to sell to the final consumer direct and then eliminate the middlemen from the distribution chain. Yes.
Some of the middlemen may adulterate or reduce the quality of the goods.
Come again?
Some of the middlemen may adulterate or reduce.
What does it mean by saying adulterate?
Said they reduce the quality. An example is a drink. They add water to the drink to reduce the quality of the drink.
Yes. Some of them are very wicked. They want their profit. They want quantity. They want to compromise quality for what? Quantity. The other time I was giving you an example that in Accra here, sometime in the morning when I'm going to work, let me buy some small porridge. I have the first two. So when I come, I want to just quickly go to the office and take the porridge before I'll come and then teach my students because I'm feeling hungry. You buy the porridge on the road and then you come, you realize that they have added water. It comes so light. I don't think that you look at the porridge, there's no difference between porridge and then the water. You see? The person is compromising quality for quantity. And then you'll be insulting the wholesalers and retailers will do this. The manufacturer will supply quality goods to the wholesaler, but the wholesaler will add some water and then sell to the retailer. Retailer also add some. So the consumer will be insulting the factory. The factory, they have produced substandard, inferior, shoddy goods to the consumers. But it's not the doing of the manufacturer. It's because the middlemen have adulterated the product. The product becomes so light, and therefore consumers will be suffering. Okay? So due to this, they will bypass the middlemen and sell to the consumers directly. Yes?
Most of the leaders say that the commodities can get to the final consumer at the right time.
At the right time. Sometimes consumers need the product at a particular time. Consumers sometimes need a particular product at a particular time. Okay? So, if the middlemen are there, they will delay the goods. Because we have already said that wholesaler has a nice room that constitutes his warehouse or storage facility. So you store them for some time before the retailers will go there and buy. They also store for some time before you supply to the final consumers. By the time the goods will get to the final consumers, consumers will no longer need the product because they were looking for it at a particular time. The time has elapsed, so they don't need it. So when you send the goods to the market, consumers will not buy, not because you have produced shoddy goods, but because they don't need it at that time. So the goods will be delayed. So to avoid the delayance of the goods, the manufacturer will sell the goods to the consumers at the market directly, so that it will get to the consumers at the right time. At the right time. Yeah.
And also, some goods cannot be sold to middlemen before they get to the consumers. An example is electricity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what he's trying to mean is that some commodities, there is no way you can sell to the middleman before it can be sold to the final consumer. It's not possible. That time I think I'll give you an example. If I'm going to the barbering shop to trim my hair, does it mean that the barber should give it to the wholesaler before you trim maybe half? or I don't know how you do it, and then you would send me to another person, retailer, also continue. I mean, I don't know how it will be done. So some services, wholesalers might not be needed. The service must be provided by the manufacturer himself. Are you okay? So there's no need for you to use the services of the middlemen. And so the manufacturer will bypass middlemen and do it directly. Are you okay? Yeah. Is there any other point before you move on to the next level? Yeah, let me take the last one.
Some middlemen create artificial shortage.
Artificial shortage. So tell me the distinction between artificial shortage and normal shortage.
The normal shortage is when the goods are not found in the market, when it is produced less from the manufacturer. But artificial is when the goods are there, but the middlemen personally keep it so that they will increase profits.
Exactly. Artificial shortage. The goods are there because they want to exploit consumers. They will keep them in the warehouse and release few for sale, so that they will create that shortage there. And we know that as economists, the immediate effect of shortage is that price of what will increase. So they intentionally do this so that they can increase the price, and the consumers will be rushing. Anytime demand exceeds supply, there is a shortage. Example, gas. Sometimes in Ghana, people will be rushing, they'll be in a long queue. Okay, they'll go and be in the queue waiting for the suppliers. So people will be rushing, and when the suppliers realize this, they will increase the price. You don't have any option, so you need to buy at a higher price. Another example is during morning and evening in Accra here, and certain cities in Ghana. Now, early in the morning when people are going to work, demand for cars exceeds supply. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Late in the evening, when people close and they're coming back home, demand for cars exceeds supply, and then there is shortage of cars. And when people are standing at the roadside and they are looking for car to go home, demand exceeds supply. Then the drivers, because they don't determine the price, and they cannot say that I have increased the price, they find a way of charging higher price or higher fare. The only way they can do is going by installment. You know going by installment?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if the person is loading from Accra to Kasua, the person can load straight from Accra to Kasua and charge Kasua fare. But because he wants to exploit the passengers, he will load from Accra to Kaneshi. Are you okay? You are there, you pay. When you get to Kaneshi, then you are still there, so you don't get down. Again, you are paid twice. From Odoko, then Malam Dancing. You are in the car, so you pay again 3 times. Malam Dancing to Kasua, so you pay 4 times. When you add the 4 times, it will be harder when you pay once. Yes. That is going by installment. They have a way of exploiting the consumers. So the manufacturers sometimes bypass the middlemen because they create artificial shortage. Artificial shortage. So these are some of the reasons why manufacturers bypass the middlemen, because they create artificial shortage. Now let us look at effect of large middlemen in the distribution chain. When the middlemen are plenty in the distribution chain, what are some of the effects? Okay, but I want us to tackle the positive effects as advantages before the negative effects. So advantages of large middlemen in the distribution chain. Yes, first person.
One, it could lead to the improvement in the quality of the goods.
How?
This is because the distributors who distribute the goods want to maintain their customers.
Yeah.
So by so doing, they put pressure on the producer so as to produce quality goods in order to maintain the consumers.
Yes, when the middlemen are many in the distribution chain, they will improve the quality because each middleman wants to get more customers. Because many people are selling, assume you have more retailers and they are all distributing. I mean, each retailer wants to get more customers. How can you get more customers? You can get more customers when you improve the quality. Are you okay? So even if you cannot improve the quality of the product itself, the packaging, the branding, the logo, the color of the boxes and the wrappers must be attractive, must be portable, so that it will be catchy to entice consumers to buy more. Are you getting it? Yes. Yeah. Number 2.
So the large middlemen also put pressure on the producers so as to produce more goods, so that they will sell it to the consumers at lower price.
So it means that when the middlemen are many, I don't think there will be shortage of goods at the market because pressure will be mounted on the manufacturer to produce more because they have to produce more to serve all the middlemen. And when they also get it, they also sell to the final consumers. So always realize that the goods will be flooded at the market. Okay, if you are looking for something to buy, you wouldn't toil before you get it. Yes?
So please, it helps because this one, the producer, he gets his profit in bulk.
Okay, producing in large quantity and the frequent nature of the production will help him to get more profit. Okay. Yes, anyway.
Price stability.
Price stability. How do you justify this point?
As a result of the competition, the middlemen will not increase the price. They will try to keep it stable so as to attract more customers.
Okay, they also maintain the price. Yes?
It helps to reduce artificial shortages created by a few number of distributors.
Okay, when there are few, they create artificial shortage. But if there are many, I mean, they will sell more to the market, so there wouldn't be any more shortage. Any other point? Positive effects of large middlemen in the distribution chain. Okay. Any other point? Let me see the last one.
It creates easy access to consumers.
They create easy
access of goods to consumers.
I think it is true. It's a good point. Because if there are many, they will go to all angles. Are you okay? All parts of the country. Wherever you are, sometimes you can even distribute the goods to your doorsteps. Are you okay? You are in the house. Then when you open the thing, the person will come with the goods. You will not even walk outside before you can have access to the goods. You come to your house and buy the product. So when the middlemen are many, they make the sale convenient to the consumers because they will supply to the consumers at their doorsteps, in their houses, and wherever they stay, and then they get the goods to buy.
So, and also, they maintain the quality of the goods.
You maintain the quality, yeah, you have said that, so that to buy, you can get consumers to buy the product. Let's take the negative effects or disadvantages. Yeah.
So sometimes the large middlemen, they make unnecessary advertisements. So due to that, it will lead to the rise of cost of goods.
Why do you think they make unnecessary advertisements?
Yeah, maybe if they want consumers to buy the goods in short time, they will make advertisement. They will do unnecessary advertisement so that the consumers will come in.
I just want you to clarify unnecessary advertisement. What makes advertisement unnecessary or wrong? Who can help him? Yeah.
They make false information about the product, things that the product don't do. They give unnecessary information about it, and when the consumers buy, they find out that the information wasn't true.
Guinness, so smooth word, enjoy. I watched it on telly. So smooth. Now the way they will dramatize the adverts. Okay, if you are watching and you see, it's like the following morning you go and buy it. As if when you get the product, you are closer to heaven. So sweet, so smooth to enjoy. But what is smooth about the Guinness? So it's like they are making a wrong impression. Okay, and they do it because they want to entice consumers to go and buy. In fact, when you buy the product and it is not smooth, you can't go for your money. You have already paid. The person will get the money. So sometimes when there are many and they want to get more customers, they will use wrong information to entice, to convince the consumers to buy the product. Okay. Yes. Yes, go on. Yes, go on.
Certain middlemen create unnecessary advertisements, and they put all the expenses of those advertisements on the consumers by increasing the price of the goods.
Hey, come. Stand up. Yes, go on.
And they put all the expenses involved in the advertisement on the consumers through the increasing the prices of the goods.
Yes, you have realized that when they do advertisements, and you know that when you are doing advert, it's not free. You do know that?
Yes, sir.
Now, the small space you buy in a graphic to do advert, they will charge you. Now, when you go to the television, are you okay? They charge you. On the radio, they will charge you. So all the adverts they are doing, don't think that it is free. But when they pay, they will make sure that the final consumer will bear all the expenses. So sometimes the price of the goods are expensive because of the wrong advert they are doing. They will do too much adverts, and the cost will be transferred to the consumer to bear it. So consumers will be suffering. Okay, so that is another aspect in terms of the disadvantages of large middlemen. Yes.
Some of the large middlemen create delay of goods to reach the consumer at the correct time. Okay. So it passes through many hands.
Okay, so to pass through many hands, therefore they delay the goods. Yes.
So they reduce the quality of the product. The middlemen, since their idea is to maximize profit, they allocate the goods or pollute them, and this too it causes a negative effect on the health of the consumer.
Exactly. So many diseases. Why? Because they have adulterated the goods. When you go to the market out there, even there's something that you have not even mentioned that's just come to my head. Expiration of the product, the time of the product. Are you okay? Sometimes the goods will expire. That time I was telling you that this time when you are buying tin foods, you must be very careful. I know some of the retailers will rob the expiring date and rewrite it, especially when the goods will expire maybe last December. December 2013, and then the person had more at the store. He wouldn't go and throw them away. You make sure that you will rub all the expiring dates and rewrite this year. So that you see the 2014 December is there. Meanwhile, the times have expired last year December. So if you watch it closely, you can see that this thing has been robbed and they have written the expiring dates. So the expiring date seems current, but the food inside as well has expired. You take it, it will affect your health. That's what's going on in Ghana now. All the goods you see them flooded at the market. People do that, plenty. So when you are buying anything food, do what? Diligent. Are you okay? You must do what? Due diligent before you buy it. Otherwise, you go and eat something and then you affect your health. Yes.
So sometimes the large middlemen they put pressure on the producer to produce more goods, and if the resources to produce the goods are not enough, are inadequate, they produce less, and therefore it leads to the increase in the price of the goods. Since all middlemen want to be giving some of the goods to them.
Okay, large middlemen create shortage. Are you okay? If the producer is unable to produce more to feed them, then if you are all rushing the producer to produce more, the resources might not be there. So the producer will produce less, and they all go and take it and then supply to the customer, the retailers or the consumers. So the goods will be limited at the market, and when demand exceeds supply, there will be what? Shortage. As a result, price will increase. Price will increase. Yes. Talk like a man. Over invoicing. What does it mean?
It's when the price of a good.
Price of what? A good. Price of what? A good. Go on.
It's when the price of a good is higher than the price of the good determined by the manufacturer.
The price of the good is higher than the price determined by the manufacturer, so the price will increase. Okay, fine. So that it all boils down to the increment in prices, because they add their profits to the price charged by the manufacturer. So these are some of the disadvantages of large middlemen in the distribution chain. Okay. Now let's look at problems of marketing and distribution. Problems of marketing and distribution. Now, you know that before the goods get to the final consumer, but middlemen are very important. The producer will channel the goods through the wholesaler, to the retailer, to the final consumer. But at this juncture, you want to look at the problems the middlemen are encountering. Are you okay? When they are encountering in their distribution activities. What problems do they face in their distribution activities? Problems of marketing and distribution. Yes. One.
Limited demand.
What does it mean?
When the consumers are not requesting for the goods, it means they are not demanding for it, and even though the goods are supplied, they don't have the market to purchase it, so the goods are just there.
Yes, one of the problems they are encountering is limited demand. What is the limited demand? What does it mean? It means that, you know, our income level. Okay, our income level is what? Is low. People don't buy more goods. So when they supply the goods to the market, they can't get people to buy. Are you okay? They will end up creating what? Surplus. Okay. So I'll pause here and invite questions from about 2 or 3 people. Are you okay? I want 3, maximum 3. And then I'll answer the questions. When you stand up, mention your name, and I'll write your name on the board. And then the person you want to ask, I want to take all the 3. Then I'll respond to them. Okay.
Yes, please. The middlemen, they create artificial storage.
Shortage.
Artificial shortage. That's the disadvantage. The reason why we should eliminate them. Okay. But when you're dealing with the advantages of the large middlemen, he said they also reduce shortage.
Go on, yeah, go on.
So I don't understand why the reason why we should eliminate them. They create artificial shortage value. But
I want your point, okay.
Sir, please, when talking, you give us the functions of manufacturers to wholesalers and wholesalers, functions of wholesalers to manufacturers and functions of manufacturers to wholesalers. Sir, please, I want to know the functions of retailers to the wholesalers.
Functions
of retailers rather to the wholesalers.
Functions of retailers to the wholesalers.
I'm Isaac Seman.
Isaac?
Seman.
Okay. Isaac, go on.
I'd like to ask the retailer. Do you have examples of retailers? Can you
examples of retailers?
Yes.
Mensa want to know why in the advantages of large middlemen we said they prevent artificial shortage. Are you okay? But when it came to the disadvantages, is that they create what? Artificial shortage. Now it depends upon the angle you explain it from. Okay? When we talk about advantages, we are saying that when there are many, since everybody is what? Supplying, are you okay? They will be able to supply more to the consumers and create artificial shortage. But there's a condition there. The condition is that the manufacturer must be in the best position to get the resources and produce. Are you okay? If the resources are there, then that advantage I will hold. That when there are many and they want to get the goods from the manufacturer will get the resources to produce more and supply them, and they will also supply to the final consumers. But when it comes to disadvantages, they create artificial shortage because sometimes the goods are there, but they will intentionally store the goods. I understand it, and they want to increase the price. Artificial shortage means that you have the goods, but intentionally you put the goods at the warehouse, release few for sale, and increase the price because demand will exceed supply, and the price will increase. That is it. Then someone want to know the functions of the retailer to the wholesaler. Yeah, the functions of the retailer to the wholesaler. Now, I think we mentioned that if a manufacturer needs an information from the market, and it is the retailer who will get the information from the consumers and give it to the wholesaler. So without a retailer, the wholesaler will not get the information. Are you okay? It's the retailer who will give the information to the wholesaler. 2, if the wholesaler buys the goods from the manufacturer in large quantities, if the retailer is not there, nobody will buy the goods from the wholesaler. Are you understand it? So the retailer buys the goods from the wholesaler in smaller quantities. So the retailer is helping the wholesaler. Are you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So he will buy the goods from the wholesaler in large quantities. Don't also forget that sometimes the retailer can pre-finance the wholesaler. If the wholesaler needs money to go and buy the goods from the manufacturer, and there is no money, but the retailer has money, are you okay? Wholesaler wants to go and buy from the manufacturer, but the wholesaler doesn't have money, but the retailer has the money. The retailer can pay in advance to the wholesaler so that he can get the money to go and buy from the manufacturer. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So it's another function the retailer can perform for the wholesaler. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Let me take Isaac. Okay. You want to know example of what? Retailers. Yeah, we have market store holders. We have hawkers. Do you know hawkers?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Hawkers are those who carry the goods. Don't have any place to sell the goods. They go around and sell. They behave like what? A hawk. Hawkers. Market store holders. People even carry the goods and then they sell at the lorry stations. Are you okay? They sell something like padlocks, knives, and other things. They arrange them in what? In pans. Are you okay? And they'll be selling. They are all retailers. People who have also mounted their kiosks. Are you okay? I mean, they call them structures. They are not kiosks, they're structures. And they are selling in the community. They are part of all of the retailers. So they are the market store holders, and then the hawkers who go around and then sell the goods. They are all examples of retailers. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these are the functions performed by the middlemen, the wholesalers, and the retailers. And then today we also proceeded. We talked about, despite the role played by the middlemen, some manufacturers would want to eliminate the middlemen in the distribution chain so that they can sell to the final consumer directly. And then you have been able to justify that. Why the middlemen, the manufacturers are supposed to do that. So we have brought today's lesson to a close. Once again, this is the lesson taken by One Business One of Accra Academy. And the topic is wholesalers and then retailers, the function they perform in the distribution chain, and the reason why some manufacturers want to eliminate the middlemen in the distribution chain. We thank you for your audience. Thank you very much.